welcome to the parish porch where we're talking about the voices of Ascension and Livingston Parish. It's your voice, so speak up. And we got Brandon Lewis today, a lifetime resident, graduate of the great Santa Maria High School, which I learned recently is one of the top high schools in the nation. Someone told me that, and they said it with confidence. So I believe them, and we'll see. We'll dig into those facts, and we can put them in the show notes if our producer can find a good qualified link that we trust, and everybody can look into that. So let's talk to Brandon. Brandon owns Curve Mart, and if you're a resident of Ascension Parish, you probably know about Curve Mart. Curve Mart's been on the corner in Santa Maria forever, as long as I can remember. So
Built in 1985.
1985. Okay. Is that when it was built?
That's when it was built.
Okay. So I was a kid in
Hmm.
1985. Yeah. Uh, and so then you went on to Southeastern.
Correct.
And what'd you do at Southeastern?
So I did an accelerated program, and I say that because I finished my 150 hours in 4 years. Uh, I went to Southeastern and got my bachelor's degree in accounting. Uh, then I started my career shortly afterward. Well, family and career all about the same time. Uh, I kind of I got married before I graduated high school. I mean, before I graduated college, forgive me. And then we started my career with the state. Worked there for a few months. Went on to Turner Industries. Worked there for several years, and then the state actually called me to come back to work for them. So I left Turner, went back to the state, and then when I was just getting settled in with the state, about 3 months later, Turner called me and said, "Hey, why don't you come back for us?" And so I did that, and then I worked for Turner for about 20 years collectively before I quote unquote retired and became an entrepreneur and purchased Curve Mart.
So first of all, you have lived in Ascension your whole life?
That is correct. My entire life.
And then how many kids and grandkids you up to now?
So I have three adult children. And expecting my first grandbaby in August. So we're super excited about that. We have actually became empty nesters within the past year and pretty much thoroughly enjoying that because we started our family so young that, we didn't get to start having fun and doing things as a young adults that, most people get to do before they have kids since we had started having kids right away. So now we're enjoying life when we have a little bit more uh, financial means able to versus whenever I was, getting started in my young 20s.
Yeah, if you think the teenage parties are fun,
Hmm.
go to a party of empty nesters.
Right, right. We like to
Oh
have a good
man.
time because we have nowhere to be, nowhere to go, and only get to enjoy ourselves.
The only difference is they start earlier and end earlier.
Pretty much.
You say you bought Curve Mart, and was that your first like step out into being an entrepreneur, or did you try something else before that?
So my entire life, I've always wanted to own my own business, and it was I've always dabbled in a few things. Nothing that I could make a career out of, nothing that I could support my family on, but stuff that would help me and to learn. And it just taught me a few things here and there. Didn't even realize it at the time, even through the failures of it or the joys and highs and lows of it. I was learning a lot. And then, you know, it was it was one of those things that I never fully embraced and made myself an entrepreneur through because I was scared is part of it. And as my family started getting older, I never really lost that desire to have my own business. And when the opportunity presented itself, and I knew what it was, the opportunity to purchase Curve Mart, we jumped on it. And I kind of knew the industry a little bit. I knew the previous owners pretty well, and my wife went to work for them actually, and that's kind of what got our foot in the door with being able to purchase Curve Mart.
Yeah, and is it true that you married your high school sweetheart? That's what I heard.
I did. Yes, we've been married for 25 years now. We're celebrating 25 years this year, actually, and planning a big trip. It's not fully planned yet, but it's in the process of it.
That's quite an accomplishment for the 25 years of marriage, like quite an accomplishment. And like what a great example to the community. So hats off to you guys for
Thank
that.
you.
And how long ago was it now that you bought Curve Mart?
So it has been 3.5 years. In June, we will make 4 years.
What's like the heart and soul of Curve Mart? Like what's the spirit?
Uh, we are a family-based, community-based, people store. I mean, our customers are our bloodline, and what separates us, I believe, from a lot of other places is that we actually get to know a lot of our customers. Most of our customers are repeat customers that come in every day, twice a day, or every other day, or things like that. And so we see them and we interact with them and we love on them and get to know them, because ultimately our goal is to meet their needs. And if I meet their needs, they like what they get, then they can continue to come back to me. Whereas if I just ignore them and let go of things, and then they get angry and mad and then they don't come back. So my goal really is to develop relationships. Me and my wife are both about relationships. People in the community, our employees, our vendors, uh, just we love to foster and build relationships with people.
And I'll highlight that you said love on them. I think that's something to look into, lean into, pay attention to, because as we do this podcast, I'm noticing that um, a lot of the people who are serving our community, they are using this same language, and
Mhm.
they notice that in order to provide a quality business to the community, it starts with this ethos of caring and love, and these are the businesses and the organizations that really rise to the top and resonate with our community. And um and and I mean, so you have just done a couple of cool things that we want to highlight. You tell us about this bourbon raffle you just pulled off, and who was that for? How much money did you raise? Like, give us the story.
Okay, so one of my things is, I tell my customers a lot of times, and I say this and I mean it, is I got into bourbon. So one of the reasons I purchased my store is to support my habit. And it's just a good way and for me to use my business to help support uh, my interest. But you can only drink so much. I mean, I don't drink to get drunk. I drink to enjoy myself. I drink to drink with other people and collaborate with them and hang out and just have a great time with them and enjoy ourselves while we're doing it.
Well, can I interject a word?
Absolutely.
How about connoisseur?
Yes. I would say that. Yes.
How about a taster? You're a taster.
I do.
You know all the
Well,
different flavors.
well, I'm still refining my palate.
There you go.
I'm relatively young into it. I kind of got into it shortly before we purchased our store, and
Okay.
so
And bourbon
it's
is your jam?
it is.
Okay.
I really like corn,
Okay.
corn whiskey, and bourbon. So uh, so all that to be said is that I've grown the let's just call it the liquor selection in my store, um, really because of the demand from our customers in the area. I mean, we have places around and other locations where they can get their stuff, but it's not always convenient. And so I try to, get get something in there that was convenient for our people. As the plant workers are coming home, they just kind of take the right through the curve and just keep taking a right into my parking lot and find what they're looking for, go home and relax. I'll talk to them, a minute or two while they're there, and then move about our way. So that's what started that part of it for me. And in building it, I've been able to acquire a substantial amount of good bottles, let's call it, highly allocated bottles, just different things that people are wanting, and trying to figure out how to distribute those bottles has been somewhat difficult. So I came up with the idea. I shouldn't say came up with. I decided that I was going to take what I was able to get and acquire and try to give people an equal opportunity to be able to get it. And so I decided to do a raffle. And when I decided to do a raffle, there's all kinds of different, say rules and regulations and different things involved with it. So what I decided to do was to pick a charity for it, and a charity that I thought was a, a, a good charity. I mean, there's so many great charities in this area, but I wanted something that I could get behind, something that I thought was meaningful, impactful, something that was just it. A lot of things mean a lot of things. I mean, a lot of different things mean different things to people as far as charities are concerned. And I really do not have um, a heartstring story to relate to it, but I just appreciate our veterans. I appreciate what they've done to us for this country, all the things that they've gone through in order to serve for us, and the traumas that they've gone through and stuff like that. So I decided that I wanted to use the benefits from this raffle to support the local VFW. I know the commander who runs the facility, so I guess that's my personal attachment to it. I mean, we went to school together, played ball together, and known each other for quite a while, and I talked to him fairly regularly. I say every month or so, and in doing so, I know what benefit that they're doing for the veterans in this area, and so I felt it worthy enough to reach out to him and say, hey, I would like to hold the benefit in honor of the veterans in this area and give the proceeds to the Gonzales VFW.
And so let me dig into a few things. So what so you talking about some choice bottles. So
Yes.
give us an example of what that is that you got over there at the store.
Well, in this past raffle, we had, a couple of different Pappy bottles. We had some Handy bottles, some George C. Stagg bottles, um, a lot of other bottles that are not necessarily allocated, but are very difficult to get. And like there was a Jack Daniel's Coy Hill bottle that was in there, some single barrel bottles that were in there, a lot of Weller bottles, a lot of things that people know and like and try to and want to get, but it's just because of the way that they're distributed, they're not distributed in masses, and you can only get a couple of bottles a month or a couple of bottles a year, even of some of these items,
Okay,
especially for a
okay.
store like me.
And you gave some of that away, some of that hard to get stuff.
Well, the way I did it is I gave people the opportunity to be able to purchase those bottles. So we held a raffle where they had an entry fee into the raffle, and the entry for those proceeds went to the VFW.
Okay.
And we pulled names, and then when we would pull the name for the person, they would have the right to purchase a particular bottle.
Ah, okay. And so at the moment, what's your favorite bourbon?
Well, my favorite distillery is Heaven Hill, and I really like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I like uh, there's a Heaven Hill bottled and bond product that is very good. Those are on the top of my list.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, how much money did you end up raising for the VFW?
So we set a goal to raise, as much as we can, obviously, but I figured it was just going to be a few $1,000s, and it ended up turning out to be, after we covered all of the expenses associated with the raffle, we ended up able to raise right at $5,500 for the VFW. So I was very pleased with that number.
that's a good bit of money. And so what are some examples of what they would use that towards?
Well, in talking to them, they use it to help support local veterans in this area, and serving them in this area, all the needs that the veterans have. I do not have a specific list of items that they have right now. I'm actually going to get more information from them when I present the check to them, which is going to be happening here real soon at their next meeting. We decided to wait until their meeting with their board to present it. And so we're planning to do that in beginning of April, I believe.
So you have a 30-year, I believe, if I'm doing the math right, 30-year uh what do you call it? Graduation, not
Class
graduation,
reunion?
high school reunion coming up,
Yes, that's correct.
30 years. So um and somebody told me that you guys were sponsoring the crawfish boil for that. Is that true?
That's correct. There's, the officers of our class, they're doing some stuff to get our reunion put together. And we have a Facebook group that's a private group for classmates from our high school graduating class of 1996. And we are just they were throwing out ideas and different things about where to host it and what to do and how we're going to do it and how much is it going to cost and where's the venue going to be and stuff like that. And so they decided that they wanted to hold a fundraiser to help offset some of the cost of the class reunion so that it wasn't as expensive for people. But also, not just that, they wanted to raise money for the local high school, Samuel High. And as well as that, we've had, we're getting up there in age. I mean, we're not old, but we're getting up there and starting to encounter problems and starting to, life is starting to, get to us. And several of our classmates have had to use the services of a cardiologist. And so it was decided that they wanted to use this fundraiser to raise money for not only San Animal High School, not only to pay for some of the expenses of the reunion, but also to give to the American Heart Association.
What do you have coming up in the future?
So in the future, I announced actually at my bourbon raffle that we are going to be doing another uh, birthday bash, let's call it for now, in June for when we turn 4. And I'll be doing a small bourbon raffle, or not really a raffle, but more of a drawing that day. So I'm going to be doing a drawing where I'm actually going to be giving away a bottle of Old Forester 2024 Birthday Bourbon. So I was able to get one bottle of Old Forester Birthday Bourbon, and I decided that I was going to give that away as a birthday present to one of our lucky customers.
Oh wow. What's that cost on the street?
I
Bottle
think
like that.
it retails for a couple $100, maybe
Okay.
$400.
Oh,
But
$400. Okay.
the
Damn.
the secondary price for it is considerably higher.
Okay. So that's a pretty expensive gift there. All right. I thought you was good. I mean, even $200 is like, well, that's a good bit. Okay, but $400, that's expensive. Um,
Well, getting some of our vendors involved as well, and we'll be giving away several other things. I don't have a complete item list yet, but usually our vendors step up and donate a lot of items too. In the past, we've been able to give away boiling pots and ice chest and other goodies out there, and so I'm in process of acquiring several of those things as well to be able to give away when we do that birthday bash as well.
I was drinking one night at a whiskey bar, and I almost bought $1,000 bottle of something. I don't remember what it was, but like right at the last minute, I was like, you know what? I don't know, man. I was like, I was all into it, and they were like, "Oh, we're giving it to you," and I was like, "What about a shot?" And so I ended up drinking. I ended up just getting a shot of it for $100,
Uh-huh.
and that would have been by far the most I've ever spent. Second to that would have been, I think I spent about 300, maybe $380 on a bottle as a gift one time that I
Hmm.
gave someone for Christmas.
Yes.
And then, uh, but my normal go-tos are under $100, that's for sure.
Well, as an everyday drinker, you want it to be something that's one, that's obtainable, but two, that's not, really expensive, because if you're drinking a lot of it
Yeah.
through time, it can get costly if you don't. But, in this whole, for me, this whole bourbon craze stuff is not just about the juice, but it's also about the friendship that comes along with it.
Yeah. It's
I don't drink alone. I shouldn't say don't. Very rarely do I have a glass alone. But it's about the camaraderie. It's about the relationships. It's about, getting together and cutting up and telling stories and having a good time, all while, you have a glass in your hand of your choice that is just allows you to enjoy yourself and relax, and just, that's what it's about for me.
Do you guys do any specialized cooking at Curve Mart? Like you make anything that's kind of unique to the store or
We do, actually. So one of the things that we do and produce there, we actually have it produced by someone else now. We were doing it all our own, was our seasoning. We have a recipe for our seasoning, and we were, in the past, we were measuring out the ounce of this, an ounce of this, an ounce of this, and so forth, and blending it ourselves, and that became too tedious to do it in small batches and supply the needs that we have. So we actually started outsourcing our recipe to another person who can do more of it. And with that seasoning, we season all of our products there, and we also use it to make our own boudin. We make boudin in our store once to twice a week, every week. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, just depending on the time of the year and the demand for it. But we make our pork boudin in our house.
how
Um,
can somebody order some boudin?
Uh, Really, it's just you got to stop by there.
You gotta stop by.
It's
Do
it's
you
always
guys ship
available.
it like for people who don't live here anymore, like ship it out?
I am technically not allowed to do that.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't have the FDA regulations to be able to distribute it.
Gotcha.
Only thing I can do is sell it in my store,
In your
but
store. Okay.
I
Okay.
can't prevent you from grabbing it and sending it to someone else.
Right, right, right. That makes sense. Okay.
In which case, you just use a styrofoam ice chest and some dry ice.
Yeah. So you guys are you're making boudin at the store and you have your own seasoning blend.
Correct.
And the seasoning blend is like good for like whatever, chicken, put it on beef, put it on what, it's just kind of one of those Cajun seasoning blends.
It is. It's basically hate to use the term, but I'm gonna use it anyway. But like a Tony Sassery.
Okay.
It's kind of like a Tony's, but we don't have to put as much, or we don't put any MSG in the products, so that it will cake up a little bit here and there. But I wanted something that didn't have that in there, and
Yeah.
but it's basically that. But it's something that I created. Well, inherited a recipe and then modified that recipe and to my liking. And so it's got a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of other good seasonings to it as well. But we use it on just about all of our products. If we need to
Yeah.
add seasoning in our store, we use it. So we use it on chicken, we use it on pork. We don't really serve beef there, so I don't use it at my store on beef. Mainly, we use it for chicken and pork. But yes, you can use it on beef. You can use it on fish. It's a powerful seasoning. So what you would normally use for any other seasoning, you have to use a little bit less than.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can overpower things.
And is that purchased only in the store?
That is correct. I have it in the store. Currently, I have it in bags, like 2¼ pound bags, because that's what my recipe calls for. But I'm in process of trying to actually put it in those little shaker cans to make it a little bit more uh, appealing for a retail location.
Yeah, I can see that because you got to put that in your pantry, when you bring it
Correct.
home. Yeah. Um, so let's talk about family and kids a little bit and all that. So can you think of any like really heartfelt or growth moments or moments that, the community stepped up or provided services to you and your family that over the years that's something that you could highlight?
So for us and our family, I mean, we've been very fortunate. I mean, yes, we've all dealt with little things, but I've never had to. I've used friends and family locally, like, not really a community-based deal, for some help and some support when our kids were younger. But as far as the community involvement with it, no, I've been blessed to not have to rely on our community to help us in dire needs in the past.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking along the lines of like, what are some things like that your kids were a part of, like maybe organizations, groups that maybe
Oh,
like help them stay on a good track, that are, either our school system that had, maybe one program that really stood out to you, something like that.
okay, okay. So, when our kids were younger, they really did, we tried out the little dance route, we tried the t-ball route and baseball, stuff like that. And it was good for them because it taught them a lot. And one of the things that, we instill with them during that time frame is that when you commit to something, you're going to do it, you're not quitting. If you don't want to do it again next year, then that's fine, but you're going to continue with it and you're going to finish it this year. So that's helped them out as well. High school sports is some of the things that my kids were involved in, some more than others, and various different things. But and outside of that, we've been really a family where we just built and harvested relationships with people. We didn't do a whole lot of extra community things that sports wise. I mean, we would always try to, go to different things, like the Christmas parade or things like that. We would be involved with things like that as a participant, not really in the aspect of planning or anything like that. But we did do a lot in the community when it was available and our kids were interested in it. We try to participate in all those type things.
So, I think one of your kids went through the early college program in Ascension Parish. Did just one of them go through that, or all of them?
Yes, yes. No, my oldest one went through that. It was a relatively new program actually when she started it.
Yeah,
I think there's been a lot of changes to it since, but yes, with that, it was a early college option program is what it was called. And
yeah.
it was during a trying time of the year because of COVID and restrictions, and she had to go. She had classes, you know, at campus as well as remotely type deal, and but yes, the early college option with our school system was a unique experience. Um, it was something that it has to be the right person to go through it. I don't believe that just anybody can go through it. I think somebody has to have a lot of commitment, a lot of desire to do it, and they have to have a high capacity because of the workload that's required of them. And then on top of that, people that play sports and do that, those are a special breed of people because they have a very high capacity. And if you're able to succeed through that program, I think it really propels you in the future for what you have as an adult.
Yeah. So you plan on holding on to the store for a number of years, and or what is your plans with the store, kind of like, let's say, 5 years out?
So, I mean, I love the store. I love the atmosphere there. I love the people. I love the just the employees that I have. So I have no plans of getting rid of it. I've had offers in the past. I've entertained offers, but ultimately it was turned down because I couldn't let go of it. 5 years from now, I still see me owning it, possibly other things as well, but I still see myself owning this store.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned to never say never, but I don't see any reason why I wouldn't continue doing this for the next 5 years.
What's something about you, your family, your wife? I'm gonna throw her in the mix.
Do it.
That something that we don't know, something that we'd like to know.
Ooh, something that you don't know. Man, we are pretty much an open book. All you have to do is ask, and we're going to probably tell you too much. Um, but something that you don't know about us would be, um, whew.
Well, you guys vacation a lot, and
I was about to say
yeah,
that you may not know about it is that we like to vacation. However, it's it's pretty known if you know us at all because you'll see pictures from my wife posting on Facebook, and it's usually the joke around is When'd you come back and where are you going to next? That is really the only hobby that we have is traveling. I mean, developing relationships and things of that nature. I mean, that's fun for us and that's business also. But it outside of that, I mean, I don't really hunt, don't golf, don't fish. I enjoy those things, but I don't do enough of that to call it a hobby. The hobby that we do have is travel. One of my sayings I had heard a long time ago that I really like and that we kind of live by is traveling is one of the only things that you can purchase that makes you richer. Uh,
Mm.
just developing culture, seeing the cultures of people, just when you go to different places and really not some of the just commercialized places, but some of the places that have when you have the ability to talk to some locals and really have a conversation with them, and you learn that your little secluded world here is so much different than theirs, and some of those cultural things that you learn is very enriching to us, my wife and I.
How deep do your roots go here in this community? Like, way back, grandparents upon grandparents, or did your dad move here, or mom, or like, how long has your family been, a part of our community here?
So my mom's family has been here for I don't even know how as long as I know. Um, my mom was originally a Martinez. My dad's family actually came from Livingston Parish, which borders Ascension, so not very far away. So in this area, from my recent knowledge, I mean, it's always been here in Ascension / Livingston. Uh, I'm sure, generations upon generations ago, it may have been something different, but I haven't done enough research of my family history and my family tree to know where my ancestors came from and lived at before they came
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I'm just curious,
I mean,
see.
I would say at least 3 to 4 generations have been before me have been here in Ascension or Livingston.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, what can people do who want to support you, support your business, get involved with the things? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way is, obviously stop by the store. I mean, that's a great thing for us. But to contact us, I mean, give us a call, message us on Facebook. We do a lot of Facebook activity, just trying to keep it out there. It's one of those platforms that I use that I think I have a decent following on there, and we're able to get information out that way. Uh, and then once you do that part of it, actually the biggest thing is just word of mouth, getting us out there. I still have people um, that where our location is a great location, but it's kind of on the side of Ascension where it's closer to Livingston, and a lot of people are on the other side of Ascension, and it just feels like it's way out of the way, but it's really not that far. And we offer a lot of stuff that's not just a convenience store there. So word of mouth goes a long way, and just telling people about your experience there and what you like about it and what you don't like about it, and that's one of the biggest things that helps support us.
So that's Curve Mart on Facebook. Follow them on Facebook. The store is at the corner of Highway 431 and 931 in Santa. And
Correct.
I tell you what, with that one, I think we're gonna say we sat on the porch, we had a conversation, we learned about Curve Mart, we learned about Brandon Lewis, and again, this is our voices here in our community, and we're highlighting people giving back and people doing interesting and fun things. And look up the show notes, find out more about the stuff that Brandon's got coming up, and we're gonna call it a day. It's your voice, so speak up.
Thanks, James.